eyes and ears to see what God sees in others. You know, there's been so many times that within me, I'm like, you know, sometimes you feel like in the past, you just feel like giving up, or, you know, throwing your hands down and be like, you know, why should I, you know, keep going this way? But then I stopped and thought, this was like, you know, times in my life whenever you're going through things in your life. Then I stopped and thought, you know, why would you want to turn that way whenever God can be with you through the hard times? Why would you walk away from God whenever God's been there? But it's in the quietness at times when He's there. He's behind you. Because, you know, there was times that I couldn't even feel God. And this was like certain times last year when I was at the lowest. I could not feel God. But I knew everything that He done for me. And I knew, without a shadow of a doubt, I knew He was right behind me, guys. Hang on one second. I'm going to have to take my jacket off, guys. I'm burning up in here. But I'm just so thankful that we have a Father that loves us and cares for us and protects us and watches over us. And He will show Himself to you. He will give you peace of anything that you need. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, I wondered, like, why was I dealt the cards that I was dealt with in life? You know, like losing parents at a young age, losing my mama. My mama was, Lord, me and her was like so much alike. And like she was there for me so much. And I get emotional talking about her. But, you know, there was times whenever she passed, like the first 5 years, and I'm sorry, but it tears me up talking about her. That's why I never do much. But the first 5 years, it was like I was living in hell. Like I literally was drowning. And I was so angry and hurt, and I felt alone. And I would pray to God and stuff. I'd be like, God, please help me. I can't do this, you know. I was like, how can I go another day without her? And then I thought I was at the end of my rope. And so I'll never forget it. I'm just going to tell you what God does. Katie and Gracie was little. Like, Gracie was 3 weeks old when my mom passed. Katie was 2 years old. And so I remember every day getting up, and it was just like a gaze or something, like fog. Everything was like the same. I was still hurting, missing my mom. And I was sitting there. I would be looking at the TV, but not watching it. My kids was watching like SpongeBob or Barney or some crap like that. And I remember within my spirit, I was praying. I'm like, God, I can't do this no more. And God spoke to me. It was that still small voice. God spoke to me. And He was like, you know, if you take one step, I'll take two. And so from that day forward, now let me tell you something. This is how God works. Whenever He spoke that to me, and I knew His voice. I knew His voice. It wasn't a loud voice out. Everybody could hear. It was within my spirit and within my mind, you know. He spoke to me. If you take one step, I'll take two. And from that moment over, after 5 years of going through that torment in hell, God healed me. God delivered me. And God took everything that was in my spirit that was broken, and He started mending it. And He started giving me more strength each day. My mom has been gone for almost 10 years now. Now I'm going to tell you something. If God brought me through that, and that was a hard, trying time in my life. Let me tell you, Lord, it was horrible. And if God brought me through that situation, after losing my mom, losing my dad, I pretty much, you know, I felt like an orphan, you know. And if God brought me through that mess, I'm here to tell you, He can do the same for you. God does not have just certain people that He chooses. He chooses everybody. And I could sit here and give my testimonies after testimonies after testimonies of everything that God's done for me, but we'd be here all day. And so, Lord, I came on here to sing a song, and here I am, not to it yet. But I guess God wanted me to speak that. Just know, whatever you're going through, think back of them trials and tribulations that you had years ago. Think of all the times you thought that you were drowning and you couldn't get out of it. Think of all the times that God brought you out of that mess. And I guarantee you, you start speaking faith in your life and start telling God, you know, whatever comes my way, I'm still blessed. Whatever comes my way, I've still got a God bigger and greater than my problems, bigger and greater than my fears, and we're blessed. And so that being said, I'm wanting to sing this song to you guys, because when He speaks and you know His voice, listen to it. Don't get scared and turn it away. A lot of times people in life get scared whenever you feel like this thing with God ministering to you, and when God speaks to you, don't get scared of it, because that's truly a gift. If you can really hear Him, if you can hear His voice, step out in faith and claim what you feel within your spirit, because God is the author of everything. He's the beginning and He's the end. He knows everything. And so when God speaks to you, you listen, because I know that I try to, always. Broken from the struggle, beaten from the journey, straining to see His hand and work in me. And in the middle of confusions, my doubts and delusions, I wonder if God is even listening. But when He speaks, I know His voice. And when He speaks, my soul does rejoice. And when He speaks, my heart knows no fear. Oh, the peace when He speaks. I've struggled with answers in a sea of trouble, drowning in the waves of an ocean tide. In my desperate situation and current complications, I look for a safe place to run and hide. But when He speaks, I know His voice. And when He speaks, my soul does rejoice. And when He speaks, my heart knows no fear. Oh, the peace when He speaks. And when He speaks, I know His voice. And when He speaks, my soul does rejoice. And when He speaks, my heart knows no fear. Oh, the peace when He speaks. There you go, guys. So anyways, just remember, when God speaks to you and when you hear His voice, trust and believe. Don't let Satan put doubts and disbeliefs within you, because, you know, that's what he wants. He wants us. He wants to get our mind off the prize. But if you stay focused and just keep holding on to God, no matter what comes your way, eventually you're going to rise above, you know. Just know that God loves you, God loves me, and He's bigger and greater than any of our problems. And I try to, you know, get up and just try to speak faith in my life, and speak, you know, healing in my life. Because you know what? Like within my spirit, I know that, you know, God's